background comic. This comic is a beautiful, charismatic. This person is the joy of my evening. Thank you. They also paid me $5 to say that. Now put your hands together for Claire Pellegrino.
I do need that $5 back. So, hi, Cliff. Hi! Hello, hello, hello. Very happy to be here. That's my new character I'm doing. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. It's so nice, great show that this is. Happy to be here. I'm going to tell you about some strife that I have right now. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, because it's getting filmed. We don't want to capture that on film, too much strife. But I do have strife. I get catcalled sometimes. That's part of my strife. I get catcalled sometimes. This is something that many people experience, catcalling, It's tough. It's a tough thing getting catcalled. It used to really bum me out. It was very difficult for me, but I developed this coping mechanism, and I'm going to tell you about it because, I want to inspire. So, that's my goal tonight. I want to inspire hope in people. So I'm going to tell you my coping mechanism for getting catcalled. It's really helped me out. So my coping mechanism is when I get catcalled, I only hear what I want to hear. That's my coping mechanism. Just in life, just generally, I only hear what I want to hear. So it's worked really well for me. So I'll give you an example. So, I'll walk down the street and someone will yell out at me and they'll be like, "Hey, cool butt," catcalling. But what I really hear is "Hey, I know you're an avid reader and that's a really great practice, and you're expanding your knowledge of the world at large and your vocabulary, your general selfhood, and I think that's really great. It's commendable and I commend you for it. That's what I hear. If I walk down the street and someone's like, "Boy, oh boy, if only all your clothes weren't so loose," what I really hear is "Hey, I know for the second year in a row, your New Year's resolution has been to stop eating cheese in bed." I think that's a really great practice. You should keep at it, don't get discouraged. I even get catcalled at work sometimes. I know. Can you believe it? I get catcalled at work sometimes. It's a real drag. Sometimes I'll be at work and my boss will be like, "Hey, Claire, I know my boss will catcall me." It's crazy. It's crazy. My boss will be like, "Hey, Claire, you can't keep watching videos about how to make pasta at work. We're paying you, and that's not a good use of your time. It's just terrible, catcalling. But what I really hear is once you mix the semolina flour with water, the dough will become very tacky, and you're gonna knead it until it becomes a much stiffer dough, and then you're gonna roll it out into a very thin line, and using the back of a spoon, you're gonna begin to form the orecchiette. And Claire, this will remind you of your grandmother, or your nonna, as you used to call her, and just how comfortable she was in the kitchen. She was just very comfortable in the kitchen, very kind, charismatic, confident woman. Sort of the matriarch of the family, really. That's however, she was the one in charge. Everyone said that, she was the matriarch. Your grandfather, he didn't say that, but she was just a wonderful woman. So that's what I hear. Catcalling's a real drag. And I used to really hate it, but then this guy told me one time that it's actually fine because it's a compliment. And that was really interesting to me because I always thought compliments were a different thing, that word meant a different thing, a nice thing. But it turns out that that word means like literally anything, which is cool, you know? So like if you're like walking home late at night and you like make eye contact with someone just opening and closing a switchblade and they go like, you know, like you're dead sign at you, you know, that's a compliment. Or if like you and your ultimate frisbee team are practicing in an open field and you throw your frisbee way off course, and it hits a bull, you know, of China shop fame, and the bull gets ready to maul you. You guessed it, that's a compliment. You know, he likes you. Yeah, so, you know, I'm just learning. I'm always learning. You know, I'm learning. I learned recently that I have like a signature underwear. I've kind of like narrowed it down to a specific type that I love, okay? You know, I like a thick cotton brief in a dark color is what I like. Like a thick, like the type of cotton like an intramural like softball team jersey would be made of, just like thick, you know? And I like it in a dark color. You know, I was trying to figure out why I like this underwear so passionately. You know, it's like I'm very deeply drawn to this type of underwear. And I grew up in the early 2000s, and that was a time when thongs were rampant, right? Thongs as far as the eye could see. Thongs started to feel as if they weren't so much a choice as a developmental stage, you know what I mean? Like they weren't something you chose, they were just something that happened to you. And so I think at a very young age I was like, I'm not gonna go down that road. And so I just continued to buy these like thick cotton briefs. And I've heard people go to like, you know, like underwear stores to buy their underwear and you get like different fabrics, like, you know, like lace, and you get them with tiny bows or like sequins. I don't know if that exists. I just said that. But you know, I don't go to those stores. I get my underwear in a pack of 4 at Fred Meyer. It's usually where I go. Yeah, it's very good. It's a good deal. I like to get my underwear from a place that also sells like kitty litter and out of season watermelons. Like, you know, that way you never know what you're gonna leave with. But I like my underwear. It's very serious. If I could describe it in 2 words, it would be dour and austere. If I could compare it to an architectural style, it would be brutalism. Yeah, you know, if I could compare my underwear to like a staple grain, it would be barley. Yeah, you know, I like the kind of underwear that Maria from The Sound of Music would have worn, like, but like before she met the captain. You know, like the kind of underwear that just like implies a turtleneck. Yeah, I like the kind of underwear that is like both sensible and boring. Like when someone sees it, they're like, "Oh, Claire, I can't tell, is that gray or brown?" You know, it's a good. You know, it's very salt of the earth. You know, it's like a working man's underwear. And you know, to be honest, I am a working man. You know, I do have a job. I've referenced it. Is that the light? 2 minutes? Great. I do have a job. I'm a working man. I work at a help desk. Yeah, because I am very helpful. I just like to give, you know? I'm just a giving sort. And I work at this help desk, and I've noticed this thing, which is that people are falling in love with me because I'm so nice. And it's tough, you know, it's tough. Because I'm just being a polite customer service worker, but they think I'm flirting. And I'm going to just really quickly show you just how wildly different my flirting and my customer service is, because they're wildly different. So I'm going to pick one of you, and you don't have to do anything. I'm going to pick you, okay? You're going to participate only slightly. Really, you don't need to be here. You can think about something else. You don't even have to listen to me, quite frankly. You can look up, you can look down, you can look left, you can look right. You know, anything. One leg up, one leg down, doesn't matter. You don't have to do anything. Just relax, enjoy the show. Okay, so I'm gonna flirt at you, or with you, I don't know. And then I'm gonna do customer service at you, okay? And I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you guys. You know, I'm gonna ask you to do some comparing and contrasting, okay? So you're gonna have to compare and you're gonna have to contrast my flirting and my customer service. Hold it in your brain, then I'm gonna do the other one, and then you're gonna hold that in your brain, and I'm gonna break it down, and you're gonna see the difference, okay? Okay, I'm gonna flirt right now. Okay. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so that's flirting, right? Okay, it's like fun, it's free, it's young. Okay, that's flirting. Okay, now I'm gonna do customer service, and it's gonna be very different. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so it's very different. It's professional, it's sensible, serious. You know, I'm a working man, you know, I take it very seriously. So those things are very different. You see that now. They are very different. The biggest difference between the two, I would say, is that in the first one, I'm just having fun. In the second one, I'm getting paid to talk to you. So I'm going to tell of my own making. Goodbye.
Keep it going, Claire. Very funny.